Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Madridista Notes. Yesterday was a really emotional match for the Madridistas. Karim Benzema said his goodbye to the Santiago Bernabeu. He finished his Real Madrid career, illustrious Real Madrid career, with his last touch being a goal, and then he was substituted off by Carlo Ancelotti with a standing ovation from the whole Santiago Bernabeu. So it was emotional from many points of view. Karim Benzema, who has been here since 2009, 14 years at the club, he came during the revolutionary transfer window of Real Madrid, which window saw us signing Cristiano Ronaldo, Kaká, Raúl Albiol, Gareth, Xavi Alonso, and some, yeah, Arbeloa, and there were some more, but he leads Real Madrid, I would say, on a relatively high. Last season, he was the player who totally took the team on his back when it came to the attacking phase of the game, the forward line. He was totally, we just didn't have anything else to depend on because Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, Asensio, whoever else was playing, they were supporting, but it was Karim Benzema who was doing most of the frontal assault in the Champions League. It was his heroics which pushed us to the finals of the Champions League and where we won it. Then he won the Ballon d'Or, which was totally deserved. So he finishes his illustrious Real Madrid career on a relatively high. We won the Copa del Rey this season too. We won the Club World Cup. We won the European Super Cup, and this stories comes to an end, um, even if it's a little bit painful. And next season, we will see maybe Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, and some other players leave. It will be the same. But there are some other reports going on. The other problems we have in the squad are like Nacho Ceballos. They haven't yet announced their decisions to the board, to the team yet. There are some rumors of Nacho getting offered a good role, some good wages, and from Inter Milan, the Champions League finalist this season, Inter Milan, and he hasn't yet decided. He is not happy with his role in the club, and I understand that he's the fourth choice center back in the club right now. So it's understandable why he would be, why he would want better role in the team. It's not about money. It's Nacho. He has been the serving Real Madrid for the whole of his career. He came from our academy and he has been in Real Madrid his whole life. So it's not about money. It's never about money. It's Nacho is wants just better role in the team, more minutes, more importance. And I think Carlo Ancelotti cannot really guarantee that because Alaba, Militao, and Rudiger are always going to be ahead of him. He is not an orthodox right back. He's not an orthodox left back. So he's going to be backup options in those cases too, as we saw this season. So that case is yet to cleared up. We will have to wait and see. The Ceballos one looks more positive. The reports coming out of Spain are Ceballos is asked for one more week, but all the all the signs are pointing towards him signing that extension. That extension will be valid for 3 more years that Real Madrid has offered him from the reports that we have seen. And I think he will be a really great depth option, as we have seen. He's someone who works really hard, he's technically sound, and he won't really make a fuss about minutes and all that stuff. And I think if we are going to go for a heavily midfield oriented squad team next season, because we have too many talented midfielders, and with Bellingham coming, we should be going for a more midfield heavy team from next season. The next bit of news, which comes with no surprise, Kai Havertz, the reports coming out of Spain and from Germany, Bild, newspaper Bild from Germany, and from Spanish outlet Relevo, as well as Dario AS, Spanish journalist Mateo Muerto. Everyone has said that the Kai Havertz deal is going to cost Real Madrid around 50 to 60 million euros fixed plus add-ons, whatever those add-ons are going to be. So that's the kind of deal we are looking at, and this deal is going to be done sooner rather than later. After Bellingham deal is done, I think Real Madrid will complete this Kai Havertz deal. He is liked by Carlo Ancelotti. He's liked by Florentino Perez. He is liked by even Real Madrid's chief scout Huni Calafat. So this duel looks like on its way, and I think his best position is behind the striker. I don't know, maybe as a number 10, which we do not play. That is the only problem. I think Carlo Ancelotti needs to make that role where Bellingham and Kai Havertz can thrive, because I don't know really how we are going to keep all seven midfielders otherwise happy in this team. Where Modric and Cruz, I think they would be happier to be, more of rotation options next season. We don't need to start them every single week. But still, we will have four really talented midfielders who would want to play week in, week out from now on. In Jude Bellingham, Fede Valverde, Eduardo Camavinga, and Aurelien Tchouameni. We have to make Aurelien Tchouameni as the starting number six, and whenever we need to rest him or rotate, we need to rotate him with Camavinga, not Tony Cruz. I don't understand this obsession of Carlo Ancelotti with playing Tony Cruz as the number six as the defensive midfielder. It's totally backfires. It's not sustainable. It gives away too much holes in our defense, and we saw even the last match that we played against Athletic Bilbao. It was a disastrous. I don't understand Ancelotti's. Uh, he is too stubborn to change it. He did the same in the Champions League match against Manchester City, and we got slapped. We got totally slapped. So this is the problem, and I think if push comes to shove, just play Kamavinga there. If you are don't want to give Chouameni the full responsibility, then make Kamavinga switch with Aurelien Chouameni every now and then, but don't play Tony Cruz there. It just doesn't work. It just totally falls apart. The whole defense and midfield struggles because of this. Because Tony Cruz is not a player who is fast. He isn't a player who is really someone who is a shield. He's not that kind of a football player. He is a different. His profile is totally different, and he should be used as that profile. He shouldn't be used as a number six, as a defensive midfielder. That just doesn't work. So I hope Ancelotti doesn't repeat the same mistake that he did. And to be honest, I still don't understand why we are still keeping Carlo Ancelotti. I just don't have much of a trust in Carlo Ancelotti after watching the team degrade and degrade and degrade this season. I think maybe a new voice would have been better. I think a new um, direction would have been better. I was hoping that he would be removed. Mutual agreement maybe. Brazil job is there. Take the Brazil job, and then bring in Zinedine Zidane. Bring in Zinedine Zidane for the third term. Why not? He always wins trophies with Real Madrid. La Liga, Champions League, every single time he wins something with Real Madrid. So this is the most logical explanation. Like most logical step is going for Zinedine Zidane, and that would have been perfecto, really perfecto. Just yeah. So I just don't understand why we are going into the new season with Carlo Ancelotti, because I think however, we don't like to acknowledge the football world is ever changing, and it is changing. And if Carlo Ancelotti keeps just depending on individual brilliance and a little bit of man management, it's not going to work. We need a system. We need a definite system to break down teams. We have seen that we depend too much on the individual brilliance of Vinicius Junior to break down teams. However brilliant is Vinicius Junior, we know he is brilliant, but we are giving him too much of a workload, and which makes the defending team totally concentrate on Vinicius Junior. They understand that if you can stop Vinicius Junior, you can stop Real Madrid's forward movement. You can totally wreck their attacks, and that's what they do. They foul Vinicius Junior, they target Vinicius Junior, they stop Vinicius Junior by any means necessary, and that's it. We then start crossing and just playing some dumb ass positional football, just keep possession for possession's sake, but do nothing with it. So there's the problem with Real Madrid this season, that we haven't been playing as a unit. We haven't been playing any system where you can see that the team is playing on these uh, phases of the game where we are destroying the other team with some definite, with something to watch. Like, I don't enjoy watching Real Madrid. The last season I haven't enjoyed watching Real Madrid. It's just too chaotic, just too much individual brilliance, brilliant reliance. Like the best teams right now in the world football, we can see who plays the great football in the real in the world right now is Manchester City, and of course Pep Guardiola is uh, one someone that his play team plays great football, and he is one of a kind. Then we see Jurgen Klopp. His team didn't play great this season, but that's more down to the squad. He didn't have the players, he didn't have the midfielders. But whenever he has the tools, his team plays a really great brand of football. Then we see, even though Arsenal couldn't do much this season, they showed a really good brand of football. They broke down teams, and even though they don't have that kind of squad, Arteta utilized his main 11 to the best of their capabilities. And when they got injured, the levels dropped, and they just weren't able to, I think, keep up with the pressure mentally, and that's why they dropped off. So, but their football was good. They were playing some good football. There are more. There are more examples if we look through the teams around. In Bayern Munich, I would say I don't want someone like Nagelsmann, and hopefully he goes. We can see that he is closer to going to PSG. Mauricio Pochettino is already gone to Chelsea, so there aren't many options in the market anyway. So, eh, any just I was hoping that Carlo Ancelotti just leaves this season. After finishing the season, he has the Brazil job on the horizon. Just leave on a high, man, and we could just appoint Zinedine Zidane. That would have been perfect. But let's not talk about what's not happening. Let's talk about something. Harry Kane. The news is everywhere. It's coming out from everywhere, from the English press, the Spanish press, and Real Madrid wants Harry Kane to replace Karim Benzema. It looks like he won't be. We haven't heard anything from Harry Kane's camp yet, or from his mouthpieces, or from sources close to Harry Kane yet, if he wants to leave England. So if he wants to leave England and Real Madrid wants to make a deal, Mr. Daniel Levy, chairman of Tottenham Hotspur, is of course not going to make it easy, because he is the really notoriously hard to negotiate with, and Harry Kane is the superstar. He has already, even though he has only 1 year left on his contract, he will still cost around 100 to 120 million euros minimum, because that's what Daniel Levy will not really budge unless you offer that kind of money at the very least. And that's not our concern really. If he can come here and score 30 goals minimum per season, all competitions. In all competitions, 30 goals regularly, then that money is well spent. So I hope that if we are going for him, we get him, because the other options in the market don't really give me much confidence. Like there is Victor Osimhen, he's going to cost minimum 150 million euros. Everyone knows Aurelio De Laurentiis ADL, the Napoli owner. He is another notoriously difficult president, and that guy is really young and has more years in his contract. So Osimhen is gonna cost more, and I don't know. He hasn't shown as much of a consistency as Harry Kane. Harry Kane's play style is as closer to you can find to Karim Benzema. Then there are options like Blajovic, who has totally not worked out in Juventus, and then there are strikers in the market like Firmino, like I don't know. There are some other options that yeah they don't really give us any kind of confidence. So yeah, if we go for Hurricane, then we should go and bring him because the it's totally official now. Karim Benzema is leaving. We need to plug that gap. We need goals. We cannot really depend on Vinicius for goals all the time. We cannot depend on him to create and score all the time. We have to bring in players. Kai Havertz, hopefully Bellingham. If Hurricane comes, Hurricane, Rodrigo, all of them can take on this responsibility, and hopefully we have a great season. Now let's come to some defensive signing. There are reports that Real Madrid will make some surprise signings. I don't know which surprise signings, but there are reports that we will look to sign another left back if we sell Falan Mendy. We'll have to see. Falan Mendy maybe wants to stay and leave after becoming a free agent next season. I won't mind that because he is a good addition in the squad. If we sell him, then we will. It's good to know that we will go for a left back and not just hope that David Alaba can plug that gap. That's the worst option. And there are reports that we might be looking into right back option too. That's the best news I have heard, other than working to sign a right winger that we still don't have. Right back to compete with Carvajal would be best, would be the greatest. We need to plug that weakness in our squad. We have everyone is saying Carvajal is totally, really his level dropped off by half. We saw in against Athletic Bilbao, he was totally disastrous. Another disastrous game from Carvajal, and it was just to I don't know. I just don't trust Carvajal to play week in week out anymore. We need someone like maybe I don't know. There were some reports about Pavard, but he wants to play as a CB, so that's a no go, I guess. But there is Marazui from Bayern Munich. There are reports that he is not happy in Bayern Munich. Maybe we can go and bring him. We will have to see the Bellingham deal. It looks like it's going to be official soon. I think next week, maybe next 2 weeks maximum, it will be official. It looks like everything is done. The reports, everyone is going, even Fabrizio Romano, everyone is hinting that it's close to being done. And I think after Karim Benzema's farewell on 6th of May, tomorrow, we will slowly start to, I think in the next 2 weeks, maybe Bellingham, Kai Havertz, this kind of deal will be wrapped up. Kai Havertz deal may take a little bit more time, but I don't think it will take a lot of time because Chelsea wants to sell, we want to buy. The price, Chelsea is not pricing us out because they are interested in doing business and they need to do business to bring in money because of FFP reasons. They also want to invest in their midfield. They just lost out on the Manuel Ugarte deal. PSG went ahead and, of course, won just to keep them to the deal. So Chelsea are looking to buy Caicedo, who is going to cost around 90 to 100 million euros. And then they also want someone like Lavia from Southampton, who is going to cost minimum 40 to 50 million euros. Those kind of deals, and they are still looking for a striker. So they will go for players, and they are going to look. It looks like they will have to spend another 150 to 200 million euros once again, and that's why they need to sell players. They are trying to sell Mason Mount to um, Manchester United for 60 to 70 million or 70 to 80 million euros, according to the reports, more around the 70 million euro mark. So they have a price range that they are making it out to be, and what they think is fair. Real Madrid, of course, feels 50 million is fair. Manchester United thinks 60 million is fair for Mason Mount. Real Madrid thinks 50 million is more fair for Kai Havertz. But of course, we will have to negotiate and come to make a deal. And I think even if it's around 50 to 60 million euros for Kai Havertz, I don't think it's that bad of a deal. He's a talented footballer. He just didn't work out in Chelsea. He's 23 years old. He's not suddenly just garbage like a lot of Madrid fans are making it out to be on online in online platforms. Like Chelsea is a flop. Why are we paying for him? And we have to understand our squad doesn't have much of depth right now. Even last season, Hazard and Mariano were just totally doing nothing. So we only depended on four players, Marco Asensio mostly as substitution. So we were going into every match with the same players, no rest and nothing to rotate on. So if we have rotation options and better players as rotation options, so that would give us an edge during the later of the campaigns and as substitutions to come and change the matches at the later stages of the game. And I think that's a good way to go. Having if my Danny Ceballos renews, having seven midfielders as depth. With if we sign Harry Kane, Kai Havertz, bring in Brahim Diaz, and bring in Joselu from Espanyol. So having six attackers that we can use, not four, six, that will give us depth. That depth in quality too. We will have quality. I don't know about Brahim Diaz. I haven't seen him play much. I haven't seen Joselu play much too, but I've seen Harry Kane play. I've seen Kai Havertz play, and I think they have what it takes to play for Real Madrid. Brahim Diaz will be, of course, a substitute, mostly rotation substitute off the bench most of the time, anyways, and Joselu will be the same. So there is nothing to be so upset about if the club brings in a certified right back to fight it out with Carvajal and not make him so relaxed about his place in the team. That would be great, and I would be happy with team going forward next season. Only the last domino would have been perfect if we just if Real Madrid and Ancelotti made came to an agreement that it's done, your chapter is done, you go to Brazil. That would have been perfect. So we'll have to see if Ancelotti stays. I am still hopeful that some way he goes to take the Brazil job and we bring in Zinedine Zidane. But even if Ancelotti stays, let's see what happens in the next weeks and months in the transfer market, and we will be there. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Hala Madrid.